Yo, what's up guys? It's C-Jax back with another video, and today is the first video of the new year, and I'm feeling real good. I got the beanie on because I wasn't trying to comb my hair, but anyways, we're going to be talking about today why I think DC as a whole has a way better future than Marvel over the next decade or so. It's not remotely close. Contrary to popular belief with everyone going, the Marvel has never been better, okay? The MCU's in a great spot in the future. They're building for the future. Stop. DC has a way better future than Marvel, and it's not remotely close. So I'm going to be breaking down the reasons as to why I believe DC has a better future. So without further ado, let's get into it. First day or first video of 2024. Let's lock in. Now, before I get started, I want to remind you guys that all my links to my social medias are in the description of this video, and the link to the man, the myth, the legend who made the thumbnail for this video is in the description too. Thanks for watching. Now, the first reason I believe DC has a way better future than Marvel is because we've already seen the peak of the MCU and of Marvel as a whole. In the 2010s, we saw phases 1 through 2 through 3, in which the hype for the fan base, the hype for the movies, and the overall critic and audience ratings of these movies were absolutely sky high for the most part. There were a couple stinkers in there, obviously, but for the most part, people love these movies. And the feeling you had when you went to go see an MCU movie was just an unpalpable joy and excitement for what was next in the Infinity Saga. But with DC, there has never been that phase or that period in which a bunch of fans from DC and superheroes as a whole were simply invested and excited and truly hyped for what was happening next in the franchise, especially being hyped for a long period of time, like a 5 to 7 year time span, like the MCU did from 2012 to 2019. DC has simply never had that. Obviously, they've made incredible movies like The Dark Knight, The Snyder Cut, etc., but there's never been that sustained success and happiness and hype towards this franchise over the last 10 to 15 years or so. And because they haven't experienced that hype and they haven't shown us that, phase of them making amazing movies and keeping us engaged and stuff, DC has an opportunity to do that in the future, while Marvel does not, because you're not going to get better than the phase they had from phases 1 through 3. That era of excitement and just in general quality of content from the MCU was remarkable, but DC still has a chance to do that because they have not done it yet. And the next reason I think DC will be more successful than Marvel is because DC is more versatile than Marvel is, and let me explain. DC now has Elseworlds, where they're going to have the Batman universe taking place. They're going to have the Joaquin Phoenix Joker taking place, and also they're going to have James Gunn's DCU as well. With Marvel, it's mainly the MCU. That's their only source of real income from the movies because they're not doing nothing else. The Sonyverse... Gosh, the Sony Marvel is terrible. Venom 1 is an entertaining movie. I'll die on that hill. It's very entertaining. But Venom 2, Morbius, Madam Web coming out in a month that looks worse than most fan-made movies? Are you serious, bro? Those movies ain't making no money. So stop it. Across the Spider-Verse made money, yeah, but that's a once every 4 or 5 years type movie for Sony Marvel. They ain't doing nothing. DC already has Marvel beaten animation. We know DC animated products are better than Marvel. So DC has animation. They have a side universe like the Batman universe, which fans love that movie, and they're making a Penguin show, and we know dang well any DC show is gonna be better than the MCU Disney Plus shows because the Disney Plus shows are garbage. What If dropped a few weeks ago in the MCU, and I guarantee you probably didn't even know that happened because I didn't either until 2 days ago. And what it comes down to is that Marvel tried the multiverse with the animation with What If. They're trying live action, it's doing miserably with movies like the Marvel, shows like She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, etc. But DC still has to tap into something new because the DCU is going to be new stuff that we haven't seen. Well, by that time, we will not have seen Superman in years. Same thing with The Flash, Batman, etc. So it's going to be fresh. It's going to be new. It's going to be exciting. Marvel doesn't have that much stuff to pull from that's fresh, new, or exciting anymore, bro. And if DC can access things that are new and exciting for fans, while Marvel cannot, they're ultimately going to have a better future than you. They're going to have not only probably better products and more interesting stuff, but they're going to have more options to choose from. It's not going to be clear-cut Marvel comedy fest, bad CGI, awful humor, awful product over and over and over again. They can do something different. And speaking of versatility, the next reason I think DC is better than Marvel, this is a hot take, it shouldn't be, it's trigger warning for you MCU meat writers. DC simply has better characters than Marvel, okay? And I'm going to layer this for you guys. When it comes to a collection of characters and superhero teams, the Justice League are simply arguably the most iconic superhero team ever because of, the hype from the MCU and the Marvel and all that stuff. People are going to talk about the Avengers, and I understand that. But outside of that, where else has Marvel shown that all their characters are better than the DC characters? When Marvel dives into their lesser-known niche characters, it doesn't work out. We've seen the movies flop, the shows flop, and they're simply not good critically. But at the end of the day, when DC's diving into lesser-known characters like a Shazam 1, it works. People like it. Aquaman was a joke, but they put him in live action and it works. It makes over $1 billion, and the second one's about to outgross the Marvels. How is Aquaman 2 ending a dead franchise making more money than the Marvels that is in the middle of the MCU timeline right now as we speak? It just goes to show you what's going on here. Characters like the Joker, Batman, Superman, all the Batman villains, Brainiac, Zod, Reverse Flash, etc., their villain lore is deeper. Their hero lore is deeper. The Justice League are simply full of better characters than the Avengers. And this should be common knowledge. I don't think a lot of people are going to argue at that point, but it's just facts. Live action has got people's minds skewed into thinking, oh, well, Marvel made more money. Their movies are more popular. I love these characters. But in the grand scheme, DC has more good characters to pull from. Therefore, they're able to make a wider variety of good projects. They can go light and humor tone and make a good movie like a Shazam 1. They can go a mixture of those tones and make a movie like The Flash or a movie like the Snyder Cut that goes dark and also has a couple moments of levity and gives you those great visuals. Or they can go and just make a straight cinematic masterpiece like The Dark Knight. They have levels to go with it. What cinematic Marvel masterpiece have you seen? None of them, because they ain't masterpieces. They're good superhero movies, but DC can make a good cinematic movie. They can make a good looking movie. They can make a funny movie. They can make a really sad movie. They can make a movie that's a mixture of everything like a Man of Steel or the Snyder Cut, and it's going to come at no cost because they have more to choose from. Hence why their animation is better, their live action movies on average are most likely better, and on top of that, their character lore is better. They have the characters to the point where if they're making good, consistent content in a connected universe with characters like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, the Flash, etc., who are inherently more popular than those Marvel characters, they're probably going to make more money than Marvel did, bro, if their movies are good and successful. And the last reason that I think DC is going to have a better future than Marvel is simply because of the fact that over the last 3 or 4 years, I think most people will acknowledge this, Marvel has pretty much been a failure, okay? The quality's declined, the visuals have declined, and the characters have declined, the storytelling, the writing, all of that stuff. And DC has also had somewhat of that as well with their content declining as well. But what they can do is they can learn from their mistakes, and they have the benefit of learning from Marvel's mistakes. You know, over 2024, 2025, when DC's not dropping a lot, they can look at things that don't work in the box office and don't work critically and with the audience and choose to improve upon those issues. This is one of the benefits of failure in life, okay? This is a little motivational C-Jax moment for you right here. When you fail, you either have two choices. You can continue to keep failing and learning more, like what DC kind of did, or you can fail and not learn from it. It's better to learn from a loss than it is to learn from a win sometimes, because when you're always on top, you're always winning, you're not going to learn that much. You can't have an endgame without an Avengers Infinity War. My brother told me that line. You have to fail sometimes before you know what it truly means to win. In DC now, after failing for the last decade, for the most part, they're probably going to be primed to win, man. And now that they have the experiences from Marvel, you know, the comedy tone, the bad CGI, all that stuff, all the stuff that doesn't work with the recent MCU, they can get rid of all that and make something different with the new DCU that actually resonates with the audience. They're already starting to do some cool things with the Batman movie. I didn't love it, but fans across the world, critics loved it. And you also have the Joker movie, which is the only rated R movie, I think, ever, one of the few ever, to gross over $1 billion. Like I said, that was my last reason, but a little minor thing I just want to mention real quick. DC's slate upcoming is simply way better than Marvel's. You got the Batman 2, which a lot of fans are going to be excited for, the Joker 2. You also have Superman Legacy, the reboot to the new universe, Batman Brave and the Bold, the Penguin show spinoff. You can't tell me that's going to be worse than She-Hulk Season 2 or the Thunderbolts or Shang-Chi Record of Time, which does sound cool, or Captain America Brave New World. Like, come on, bro. The slate for DC is better. Y'all, at the end of the day, that is going to wrap up the reasons for why I think DC has a way better future than Marvel going forward. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. What has a better future, Marvel or DC, and why? Feel free to argue amongst yourself, argue with me if you want to, acknowledge me, bring it. But at the end of the day, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. And as always, DC Nation for life, man. Even though I hate the idea of the reboot and I miss Henry Cavill, Batfleck, all of them, sometimes you just have to move on, okay? I'm still working with it, but we're going to, man. As always, though, I hope you guys have an amazing day and have a great 2024. Lock it in. Peace out.